On a quiet autumn evening in 2000, Sarah Jo Pender's life would change forever. A young woman with a promising future, yet tied to a case so twisted it would captivate the nation. For years, Sarah Jo Pender's name would echo in the halls of justice, a name intertwined with mystery, scandal, and an unjust conviction. But what if everything you thought you knew about this case was wrong? Tonight, we dive deep into the shocking twists and turns of Sarah Jo Pender's story, a tale of a young woman who was wrongfully convicted of murder, only to fight her way out of the system that imprisoned her for a crime she did not commit. Born in 1980, Sarah Jo Pender grew up in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Indiana. The youngest of 3 children, she was described by family and friends as intelligent, charismatic, and eager to make her mark on the world. But like many young women, Sarah struggled with her own identity and the pressure to live up to the expectations of those around her. As a teenager, she was a standout student, excelling academically and participating in extracurricular activities. Her teachers described her as driven, but beneath the surface, Sarah's personal life was marked by turmoil and a growing sense of rebellion. By the time Sarah was in her early 20s, she had a turbulent relationship with her parents and a growing sense of frustration. She was drawn to the allure of the wrong crowd, people who would lead her down a dangerous path. But no one could have predicted that Sarah Jo Pender would become the focal point of a horrific crime that would forever change her life. It was in 2000 when tragedy struck. Sarah Jo Pender was accused of being involved in the brutal double murder of Andrew and Trina, a married couple found dead in their home in Indianapolis. The couple was found tied up, shot, and left in a horrific state, shocking even the most seasoned investigators. The police quickly turned their attention to Sarah, suspecting she was somehow connected to the gruesome crime. But what was her role in this murder? Was she a cold-blooded killer, or was she merely in the wrong place at the wrong time? Sarah was arrested, and the investigation began to unfold. As police dug deeper, they discovered that Sarah had been involved with several people, one of whom was her then-boyfriend Robert. But could they prove that Sarah was guilty of the crime? The trial was a spectacle. Prosecutors painted Sarah as a manipulative and ruthless woman, pointing to her interactions with the couple and suggesting she had motive. They claimed Sarah orchestrated the murder in a cold and calculated manner, staging the crime to cover her tracks and avoid suspicion. But the defense team painted a different picture. They argued that Sarah was an innocent bystander who had been coerced into the crime by those around her. Her testimony in court was emotional, but would it be enough to sway the jury? As the trial dragged on, doubts began to surface about the evidence. There were inconsistencies in the testimonies, and crucial pieces of information seemed to have been ignored. Yet despite the flaws in the prosecution's case, Sarah was convicted of both murders and sentenced to 110 years in prison. Behind bars, Sarah Jo Pender's fight was far from over. From the moment she was incarcerated, she vowed to prove her innocence. Sarah began to meticulously review the evidence, uncovering discrepancies and new leads. Her legal team was determined to find a way to get her case reopened. Over the next decade, Sarah filed multiple appeals, presenting new evidence and seeking justice. She even managed to track down a crucial witness who could potentially clear her name. But the road to freedom was not easy. With each passing year, Sarah's resolve grew stronger. She refused to be forgotten, refusing to accept a life sentence for a crime she did not commit. In 2008, a breakthrough came. A new investigation was launched, and after years of legal battles, the truth began to emerge. Key pieces of evidence that had been overlooked during the original trial were brought to light. Evidence that cast serious doubt on Sarah's conviction. An independent investigation found that there had been a massive failure in the original case, including the mishandling of critical forensic evidence. What's more, Sarah's defense team revealed that one of the primary witnesses against her had lied under oath. With new revelations surfacing, the case was reopened, and Sarah Jo Pender's conviction was eventually overturned. After spending more than a decade in prison for a crime she did not commit, Sarah was finally released in 2013. The world watched as Sarah Jo Pender walked out of prison, her hands raised in triumph. She had spent 12 years behind bars for a crime she didn't commit, but now she was free, or was she? The experience left scars on Sarah that would last a lifetime. She struggled to adjust to life outside the prison walls, grappling with the trauma of her wrongful conviction and the years of lost freedom. Though Sarah was free, the world was still skeptical. Her story remains controversial, and some continue to question her innocence. But one thing is certain: Sarah Jo Pender's fight for justice is a story of perseverance, resilience, and the unyielding desire for truth. Sarah Jo Pender's case remains one of the most fascinating and controversial criminal cases in modern history. Was she truly innocent, or was she a clever criminal who escaped justice? The answer is still unclear, but what is certain is that her journey is a testament to the power of truth and the strength of the human spirit. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the mysterious case of Sarah Jo Pender. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.